Hello YouTube, it's Dan from Programmer Basics, and today I'm going to bring you part 2 of my color bars tutorial. In the first part I basically set up the form and everything we'd need to code. However, I did forget one important part, which I think I said during the video that we would need one, and that would be a timer. And so the shorthand for timer is TMR, and then whatever we want to do it, so we'll go change. And that's that for us. So I forgot to add that in last episode, and that is quite necessary, or last video. So make sure that you go back, check out the last video, get this whole form set up, and then add the change timer to your form. Anyway, so this episode or video, I keep calling it episodes, I don't want to be doing that. So we're going to be writing all of the code. So we've got to create ourselves a private sub. So first we're going to open up, which one should we open up? We'll open up the form code from here, and this will get us here, like this. This is the code. This is all the code that we run. So we need to create ourselves a private sub, and then we need to give it a name, and we're going to call ours change color. And with this private sub, everything inside this private sub will run whenever I want to call it, because as you can see, I remember saying before that I would say handles, I could say handles btn start timer dot or underscore, I think is underscore dot click, and so now that would happen whenever I click the btn start timer. However, I'm going to remove that because we want to call this code whenever we want to use it. And so now we've just got to write in the code that we're going to use, that we're going to call every single time we want to. So the first line of code would be to make the label for the color dot, I think it's called back color. So that is the color property of the label, and we want to make it equal color dot from ARGB. I think that's how from ARGB, like that. We can't have the capitals for all of it. And then we need to give 3 separate values, one for red, one for green, and one for blue. That's what from ARGB does. And whenever you're setting your color, it has to be color dot something. And so the 3 values are going to be the value of the track bar for red, and then a comma to say that now we're going to do the green value, so that will be the track bar green dot value. Oops. And then finally we'll have one for blue, so trk blue dot value, and then we close the brackets like that. So this line of code basically says whenever this private sub is called upon, to make the label color, the color of that label, the property back color of the our label which we're using to display the color, will equal a color from ARGB with the values, this for red, this for green, and this for blue. To give you some context, if I can, if my computer's not going to crash on me, which it shouldn't, I'm just going to try and call upon paint, and I'd just like to go into edit colors. So in here you can see you have a red value, so we can enter anything up to 255. If we enter 256, then it doesn't work, it goes up to 255 and that's it, hence what I was trying to explain last episode. So let's say we wanted 45, 1 and 23. That's the color we get. It will make the label equal that color if we move the track bars to these different values. That's probably the best way I can think to explain that. Next, we want to update each of the label's values to equal the value of each track bar, so that the user knows what number they're on. And what I'm going to try and get into the hang of doing is adding annotations when I'm coding these. So this, the annotation for this could be something like label to display color is made up of values something like that. I can't really think of anything. I feel like I've written label wrong. No, I think I've done it fine. Anyway, okay, so that's that one. Now we need to update labels to display RGB colors or values. So this is actually a really simple line of code, which is just the label dot text will be equal to the track bar value, and it should be as simple as that. We hit enter and it works. So now, just because we're lazy, we're just going to copy that. So that's for green, blue, alpha and time. To display, we'll have track bar values because we're not going to be using just our RGB. So now in here we just need to go through and just copy in all of our different labels and track bars. Make sure you don't forget one because the code will mess up that way. Alpha, time, and time. This is why naming things is important, because now I know that I've just gone through and typed all of those in, and all of those names should be the same, because that's the way I made it in the first episode of this. So 7 minutes and we've timed that. I better speed up. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is we need to actually make all of the scroll bars use all of this code every single time they move. So for that we just need to double click on all of them, like this. And I'm going to make this easy on myself as well in a second. So every time one of these moves, every time one of these moves, we just want it to run the change color form. Run the code from change color. Okay. There we go. Save. And save. So that's all saved now. So now every single time one of those scroll bars moves, it does that for us. It runs that code for us. So the next thing we need to do is we can minimize these off to the side because they'll all go and do what they need to do now. But now we need to code for every time our timer ticks. So we need to, every time the timer ticks, we need to generate a random value for each of our track bars. And random is done by doing random brackets and then star for times 255, because that's how many numbers we got to times out of. And I'm pretty sure you can just put a 1 inside there, but that will do, I'm pretty sure that will do 1 to times 255, so that will always display the same number. So this will do it so it just picks a random number between 0 and 255 for us. And we need to do this multiple times for all of the different colors. So green, dot value equals RND star 255. It's also a good thing to keep typing these rather than doing the copy and paste like I did before, just because it lets you it helps you understand the code and just remember it a bit more. So that's all of those done, and then after it's done all of that, we want it to change the color like that. So randomize the track bar values update the color, like so. Now, this is nearly all of our code done in 10 minutes. We now just need to do for when the time bar here is scrolled. Oh, I already made the subform for that. Whoops. Well, in this one, we just need to do tmr change, oops, dot interval is equal to trk time dot value. Oh, like so. And so now we should be able to run this program and get some random colors going. Although we won't be able to use the timer yet, bear that in mind. So I need to make it update this label. And so far it looks like this all works. There we are. So now we just need to do the start random, stop random, and we need to update the label. Once my computer catches up. So now we need to do lbl time dot text equals trk time dot value, like so. So simple. Now the easiest lines of code here, we need to go through and make these buttons work. So we just double click on each of those, and then all we need to do is enable and disable the timer on these buttons. Now in coding, when you're enabling something, you are just enabling it, whereas when you're disabling it, you're enabling it false. You're not disabling it, you're enabling it false, if that makes sense. So in this one we'll just go tmr change dot enabled equals true, and then when you click stop, tmr change, I don't know why it's going down to tick, dot enabled equals true. Oh, false. Sorry. Okay. So now if we run our program again, hopefully I can fit this in under 15 minutes, otherwise I won't be able to upload it. Okay. And so now we can start a random one. And then we can change the timer interval. Like so. And then we can change these as well. And we can stop that, and we can, although this seems to, oh, wrong one. It seems like that alpha bar has no say in any of this. I don't know why, because that just runs off of the change color subform, which is up here. And that I believe is because of something in here. I'm not too sure what that is though. So we could actually code the alpha into this as well by doing this. Like that. That's what the ARGB stands for. Anyway, we're on 15 minutes now, so thanks for watching, guys. Program now works just as wished. So I'd like to thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe, and make sure you check out future videos. I'm going to have to stop this really quickly. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.